Through the good time, the bad time, the hard time, the down time, the sad times, you'll be alright. Be alright. It is human to feel down, you're now 55 down. You'll be alright. Be alright. Feel the vibes, feel the vibes. Stay alive, stay alive. Oh, feel the vibes, feel the vibes. Stay alive, stay alive. Oh, in the dark times there is a bright side. In the left side there is a right side. In the bad times we still hold a vibe. Pop champagne, oh. In the dark times there is a right side. In the left side there is a right side. In the dark times you still hold a vibe. Pop champagne, oh.
Beautifully
Feel
done.
the vibe.
I love it. Feel the vibes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Marlon Joseph, and I'm coming to you live for Entrepreneurship in Focus. I'm super excited to be here and to have the beautiful voice and person of Kaiya Thomas. Welcome to Entrepreneurship in Focus.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
I want to use the opportunity to shout out to some of our loyal viewers joining. I'm seeing Sandy Taylor. I am seeing Margaret from Barbados and several persons joining. It is a pleasure to have you guys joining Entrepreneurship in Focus. I want to use the opportunity to encourage you to share the live stream, to comment, to let us know how you feel about the content that is being shared, because from listening to your reviews and from interacting with you, we can only make the program better. And of course, iron sharpens iron, as together we win.
Yeah.
So I'd want to encourage you to share the live stream, to tell a friend that Marlon and Kaiya is on this evening, and let us connect and grow.
Definitely.
So help us understand, who is Kaiya?
Kaiya is a singer and songwriter. She's from Guyana, and she's ventured into this music world, representing my country strongly.
Beautiful.
Reggae singer.
So what motivated you to start singing and just recording music and stuff? Because many of us sing from our bathrooms and keep it there.
It's hard when you think about it to get into recording. It's different from singing in your bathroom, singing in church, and you have to really want to be a recording artist. You have to really just make that decision to make it a focus. So I started feeling that type of way through the pandemic. It was a long journey. You just had to be with self mostly, and sometimes you say, this was always something I always wanted to do, so why not? So the pandemic, I felt like I really needed to bring out my talent on an international scale.
Interesting. So what was it like when the idea of the first song came about, and then you started writing, and then you were saying, this doesn't sound good? What was it like?
Well, as I knew I always was a singer, but writing, that's another thing on another level. So I wasn't too, I didn't trust my writing at first. I wasn't too into it. So I said, most of the persons that are successful in this business would have had writers. So I said, I'm going to invest in a writer.
Okay.
And I invested in a writer in Barbados. And he did a good job. The first song I had was You Lost Me. I didn't really go too hard on myself with that project, because I know it's my first recording, and it takes time before you can actually get into recording. It's a process.
But like creative art and music, when you're singing and you're getting into it, you now have to embody the words and to connect emotions.
That too.
To bring and make it yours.
Definitely.
What was that like?
I'm still really in a process of actually connecting. It's like, just by people writing for me and I doing my writing, I see there's a difference, but as an artist, I feel like you really need to dive deeply into those emotions of what you're really trying to portray, what you're really trying to say. And that is a challenge for me, I would say, because there's a lot of times where I just want to write a lot of music how I feel at the time, but because my emotions I have to dive into that character, it's a little challenging.
And I'm guessing you don't want persons to be able to say, she went through all of this.
I used to think like that, but I remember Marissa Lindsay, my vocal coach in Barbados, she always tell me, if you want to get into music full time, you got to be able to share your story and not be afraid, because we all go through different things. Some of the stuff are similar, but you got to be confident enough to just put your story out there. You never know. That's what brings the hits. You know what I mean? So as an artist, you got to be able to know how to manage your emotions and know where to place them and know how to just become that person that you're just destined to be.
Beautifully put. And I believe as society continues to evolve,
Yes.
people are embracing the vulnerability.
I believe so. People like when you're authentic. So even though they ask me a lot about my songs that I have presently, I'm okay with that. But the fact of the matter is, if I could just be real, share my story, and people can really connect to that. So I'm definitely looking to go into that direction.
Beautiful. So what exactly is your story?
I think it would take us a whole entire year to actually really express what my story is about. It's a lot, a young girl growing up, just finding self, coming from Guyana, venturing to Barbados, just wanting to even go to Africa just to really find that connection that she felt was lacking. Going through a lot of things in life. Some of what I would say I faced with my own self, that's like the biggest thing. There's a lot of things that hinder us, like drugs and addiction and stuff.
Yes.
But people don't realize that sometimes your own self could be like the biggest downfall in your life. So I felt like I was battling with myself for the entire time that I could remember. And once I passed that, and I realized what I really can put out there, then I feel like, I find my purpose.
I'm happy that you were to share that, because we recently did a cover for the art exhibition that is going on at the Castellani House.
Okay.
And the officer was talking about the need for persons to venture into creative arts and exploring themselves.
Definitely.
And to just releasing and getting lost in your work. And a lot of times we don't have that space where we can just go out there and be free and then express ourselves in a creative manner and without the fear of people judging us or interpreting our story different. And I'm happy that you're coming from a place of that nature, and you're able to connect with your music, and you're able to let us feel the vibes.
That's definitely the space that I use for, anything that I'm going through. I put it into the music now. I write. My thoughts, everything. So I can put together something that I could put out there so that it could touch people. Because a lot of people can't really do that. Like, they can't really put things together and make a song and sing a song or whatever. So that's why, that's what we're here for. So you could connect and feel, some of the energy.
Do you believe that being in Guyana somewhat limits you to your true potential and exploring opportunities?
Definitely it does. But it also inspires you. So for some people, they might think it's a bad thing. But for me, I've been in Guyana about, I would say, 2 years now. And trust me, that is the inspiration I needed to write the songs that I write. And the ones that are coming in the future are from the experience that I had in Guyana. And I'm excited for that, because that's like the real hardcore stuff. Like, it's just like, I really got to bring it out there. I want to encourage a lot of youths. So I have to be in there, just giving them exactly how it is with my life and my experience in Guyana. And the fact of the matter remains too, that even though Guyana is challenging, if I rise above all of this, would be a really, 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 really good story for BBC, or New York Times. Girl coming from Guyana, and I came from Guyana, went to Africa, do amazing things. So it's a story that we live for.
I love it, and I can be able to connect, because from a tender age, I always wanted more, and I grew up in Linden.
Okay.
And I believe moving from Linden to the west side.
Okay.
Provided me the opportunity to be closer to Georgetown, where lots of opportunities are.
Yeah.
And I felt stifled, and now I'm here. I'm seeing that I can be able to master this environment before I move on. So I can imagine, as it relates to singing, and then persons paying attention to singing, and then want to compensate you for your work and your creativity. It's a whole lot.
You see, what I really understand, if I was a Guyanese leaving Guyana at an let me see, probably in a baby stage, or you go over there, but as a teenager living in Barbados coming back to Guyana, the story is different because you would have experienced what it is in Guyana, and that is what's amazing, that you can shine. Once you can shine here and you can level on different levels here, now you can really get to go out there and showcase what you have, and it's like a different level. You have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And in the outer world, it's a little bit more challenging. So if you cannot do those simple things here in Guyana, what is that telling you?
Mm-hmm.
But you just cannot limit yourself personally. You have to say, you know what? Yes, I've outgrown here, and now we're moving on to different. It's just levels to this, man.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting.
So as a woman, singing and being in the music industry, how is that? Is it easy? Is it a walk in the park?
I don't think following your dreams is a walk in the park for no one. I don't care where you come from or what you do. Once you're following and you're chasing that dream, it's always challenging. So I just pretty much had to learn really quick and learn from my mistakes and just not let certain things hinder me. And I said, okay, this is the situation. Now we're going to see what we need to go forward and do what we got to do. And that's just what it is, chasing your dreams. You never let stumbling blocks corner you. Never let people put you in a box, because they like to do that when it comes to women, limit you. And I believe that I would develop a strong persona to just master a few things that I need just to get a little further than where I'm at.
Listening to what you're saying and talking about, in other words, being resilient and pushing forward and not letting people box you in, isn't that to some extent what we see people saying to you when you're trying to speak up and have a voice, that you're difficult to work with?
Definitely.
Or you're labeled as X never.
Definitely. And the thing is, I would have been told that many times. But what I realize is that at the end of the day, they still got a respect for you. So they can say, oh, yes, this person, she's strong and they think she's a bit stubborn and she gets what you want. But that is what got me to that position that I'm in. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to downplay myself for you because you feel that I need to. Because the end goal is to really get to different places, different things, just be that human being that I was destined to be. And you shouldn't let other people tell you, oh, well, you can't do this. You know what I mean? So I'm going to speak out. I know Guyanese are a little emotional and a little touchy when you say a few things. They don't want you to say what's on your mind. But once it's nothing harming anyone, I'm going to say what I got to say. Definitely.
So help me back up a bit. Did you grow up in an environment where you were allowed to explore music and stuff? Because I know some households will tell you, you want to be a singer? You better go be a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, a judge. And singing don't put food on the table and all that kind of things. Or unless you get some really Rihanna or Beyonce voice and get some amazing experience.
I used to always sing growing up. I grew up in East Rumville, Texas. Hi, if you're looking. I grew up in the ghetto. And they never used to pay me no money to die in the bathroom singing. It's like, Keisha, they call me, singing all the time. They just said the girl are just always singing. I was just a quiet little youth growing up, and if I'm not singing, you never really saw me. I just used to be heard. So it was the other way around. They say little kids must be seen but not heard. I used to be heard. So they hear me all the time singing one song, going up, down, all over. Sometimes I used to sing horrible, but I've been singing since I was a kid in church. So they're accustomed to that. So and yes, back then people they never saw the art as anything spectacular was going to happen, and that's why my community now is very proud. They're just very proud people. and my family would have got the opportunity to be on board with my journey till after they see that, you know, regardless of what it is, I'm just going after this dream. Because I could have choose not to take this dream and just be unhappy, and then what happens? You get old and then you die. When you could just take that leap and take. People message me all the time and say, you know, you're very brave to take this, you know, coming from where people would not see music as anything, and you just make something out of it, you know. Yeah.
Interesting, and I'm happy that you're continuing and you're pushing and you're going beyond
Thank
barriers.
Thank you.
Because that too is the spirit of entrepreneurship. Going out there despite the challenges and getting things done, moving about.
I am an entrepreneur, trust me, because this is a business. It's a different business. It's one of the hardest business. You have to always be investing in, and one of the things you do is invest in yourself. So it's expensive. Just saying.
So what do you do to constantly sharpen your craft and ensure that you're up to date, producing relevant content?
My content I produce is just me, you know, day to day, how I achieve some of the things mentally. Because as a creative person, we are bombarded with so much. Because sometimes you might do a piece and people expect you to just instantly get money off of this or that. And then it's like, you know, when you gonna really get this thing? And I'm like, what you mean? It takes creativity is something that takes time. Like you can literally take a couple of hours and draw a picture, and then it takes you 2 years for somebody to give you an amazing buy. Millions. You get what I'm saying? There are pieces that are been sculpted and it took them a long time. And then you put a price on that and people just want to buy that. It doesn't happen overnight. And, you know, at some point in time, I when I do my contents, I just show people some of the things that I go through, how I cope with my day-to-day stuff, how I just try to encourage myself, keep enthused, and just make this thing a happy thing. This is not a sad thing. This is a happy journey. I'm living my dream. And I want you to live your dream too. My dream and your dream is not the same. You get what I'm saying? So I just show people in my content what it is to just really go through this process as a Guyanese female mother and an African woman.
I know that you give me a polished answer, but I'm going to ask you a direct question now. Do you believe singers, particularly females, in Guyana, is being accurately compensated for their talent?
I wouldn't just say females, like even males too, like in the whole. But all right, I'm not going to try to polish it. I think in Guyana, persons don't really value the talent as much. You would be doing the most. You'd be trying, and they say, "Oh, this is the next person that wouldn't make it. Is the next." They have that kind of doubtful kind of way. Some people would look at me and say, "See, you're going places." So I appreciate those people. And once we get the concept of paying for talent and just appreciating people for what they give and what they have to offer, then I find that would be different. I don't know when that's going to change, but to answer the question directly, no.
Do you think that is linked to a lot of local creatives emulating what they see from different countries and different singers? People trying to be the next maybe rapper, or trying to be the next Jay-Z or something of the sort?
Well, I don't know why most Guyanese feel that creativity was just something that exists. Everybody looked for somebody for inspiration. Jay-Z, if you had probably interviewed him, he would tell you who is his inspiration. And they just made something around that. So for Guyanese, if you try to be something, if I'm like a reggae singer, they say probably I'm getting influence from Jamaica. Of course, that's what I grew up hearing. I grew up hearing Bob Marley, Beres Hammonds, but I don't want to be Bob Marley, Beres Hammonds. I'm Kaiya. So at the end of the day, you should allow persons to be them for them, and eventually they find their own. When Rihanna came out, first they used to say something with she and Beyonce and whatever. Rihanna found her own. Chris Brown came out, they say he was trying to be like Usher. Chris Brown found his own. So it's like I don't know when it's going to reach that point where we understand that talent has to grow. As an artist, you have to grow into yourself, and then you become who you're supposed to be. But Guyanese won't allow you to do that, because if you come out in a year or two, they're like, "What's she trying to do? She's trying to this," and the comments are just atrocious. When you see it, it's just atrocious because they don't give you a chance to really. It's hard.
No, but even when you look beyond, for instance, let's say you turn on the radio,
Okay.
half of the personalities you hear in the radio don't sound like Guyanese.
Yeah, because we don't. I don't want to say this.
The accent is there. Instead of coming natural, bring your own personality, bring your own vibe.
Yeah, I
I think
believe
people
that.
are looking for the next best thing, because similarly, when you look at some of these singers that are doing outrageous things and they're just being themselves and don't care per se, they get a different kind of vibe. People gravitate to them, they get their followers. And when one would think that when you deviate from, oh, I don't talk about myself, I don't do this, I don't do that. When you deviate from that, you're actually able to go in a space and people say, all right, this is authentic, I like this. I like this
Yes.
person who's being themselves and going about there and just...
I strongly believe in being yourself. Like, you have a product, and your product should be marketed surrounding you, and what you give. And for me, like, it took me a couple of years to understand what Kaiya was really about, and try to put that out to the world. I reached to the point where I don't want to try too hard anymore. Because when you now starting out in music, people say, "Oh, you sound like this, but you got to look like this. You got to do this way." It's like they're always trying to confuse you. And then you say, "You know what?" I said to myself after the couple years in this, I said, "I'm going to just be me," because I've been me, and people appreciate it. It might not be the amount of people, the numbers that I expected, but it's getting there. It grows. Authenticity wins regardless. We want people to just be them. We don't want another other person that's just the same person. You want freshness. And Guyanese artists are freshness. They're new to the world. There's a lot of artists in Guyana, like myself, that the world doesn't even know about. And just pushing us to that level is different, because now you have Jamaicans, you have Afrobeats, you have reggae, you have R&B. These places, these music come from different countries. What does Guyana produce? Even if we have influence from outside, what we produce here, that is us. It might sound, if you're going to do dancehall, you gotta be able to sound like a little bit of the dancehall. Come on, you can't just, Collie Buds did it. If you're going to do reggae music, you have to do it in the style, because there's originally where it came from. And if I'm going to do Afrobeats like I did Afrobeats, I can't just say I'm going to sing Guyana, whatever. I did put my Guyana part in it, but I did do the protocol of what Afrobeat is. So I don't know when people are going to understand that, because that's just how music is.
Do you believe a lot is being done to promote Guyanese music?
We need to play our music on the radio. And not only that too, I find I've been to all the radio stations in Guyana, the big ones, the small ones, just all. And I've been to radio stations in Barbados. I've been to radio stations in Africa. No, the reason I'm trying to say that is when you leave the radio stations in these other places, they still promote you. In Guyana, they don't. It's a hype when you do an interview, and then when you leave that room, they need to keep playing the music and just post the person on their thing. When it's their birthday, you post them. You just gotta surround a lot of things around the artist that I see other people do, because that's eventually people see, oh, you think, oh, you like this, you play it and you're just singing to it. And it obviously has to be a good song, because you want to still have a kind of standard. So it's a good song, it's a good quality artist, just do that. But they don't. When you leave that building, sometimes that's it. And we've been, this is something that's been going on probably even before I was born.
But some of the other countries you would go to, while they would play foreign music, the majority of music you're hearing is
their local, and I'm telling you that for a fact, because I travel a lot.
By the time you finish, you know 1, 2 songs.
You know the songs, because they believe in making sure that song is fully promote it in the country, and then we push it out 100 to the entire world to know. And that's the thing. What got me is like, if I was a producer or if I was a promoter or somebody that owned a radio station or something, I would feel so good to be able to say, oh, I let Samuel Madas out there, or I put Tamika Marshall out there, and you know, they flourish. It's a big deal.
Do you think we're gonna ever get it right? Because this has been around for a long time.
I think we're getting there slowly. The artists that are around and that I have access to are really good. They are really good. That's just what we're lacking. We're lacking the promotion. We're lacking the love from our own people. And I don't know, like, if we get all of those things into place, I feel like we could have a really nice industry. There's Demrock Music in America who's doing a music award, and which I'm nominated for Best Female Reggae Artist. Thank you so much. In America there. I think he's doing so much tremendous work over there pushing. There's Caribbean Power Jam Radio that plays Guyanese music a lot, and then there's What's Hot Guyana that plays Guyanese music all day, and Demrock music. So these music are played in the States, so people are familiar. I'm under the assumption that people in America and other places, Guyanese, they support Guyanese music way more than people in Guyana, because all my supporters are in America, sponsors and what's not. I want to say big shout out to them. Like, they see me doing what I do and they always want to get on board because they more understand what's really going on, you know, that this is something of necessary. We need, like, I feel like we're the only country that don't really push our own artists. I could be wrong. You could tell me if I'm wrong. There might be other countries that don't really see it as a thing, but you know, in the Caribbean,
I think it has to do with your mindset, because when we see persons, oh, this person going there, who's she? She plays, she is something, she's some little regular that we grew up seeing.
Yes.
But if we demonstrate that kind of genuine love, we support one another, we share the music, we share the videos.
Exactly.
When we see them, we take a picture, we put them with Kaiya, and we catch the music.
That's it.
Those little things work.
Those little things definitely work, you know, not just, and even when the persons have shows, you go out and support them as if they're just like a Jamaican, because I look at a lot of stuff on the internet, TikTok, whatever, and there's a lot of people that born in America from Jamaican backgrounds. They probably go and they visit Jamaica, and the fact that you are from a Jamaican background and you put out music, Jamaicans are going to support you. They have shows in Jamaica. When you see it, they're filled with Jamaicans. I have Jamaican friends in Barbados. All they listen to is their own music. Barbadians listen to their own music. When you're at the show in Barbados, they bring in people from Trinidad. They could bring people from Africa, wherever. They just can't wait for those people to come off so that they could get their Bajan music. And this is when everything goes crazy. Because they appreciate their own.
They want to connect. Well, see, we foreign-minded. We like all the other things.
Because we don't have an identity. I don't believe we do. Because we're
some
searching.
Of us, when we go outside of the country, we don't get the accent.
Exactly. We don't have an identity. And we just figure that, I'm telling you, my accent is so blended with so much things. But when I speak, when I'm in Barbados, and because obviously they know that I'm not a Bajan, they like my accent. And I just feel nice. It's like, okay, y'all, like that. Okay.
You know, right?
Okay.
When I go to different countries, I like people to know I'm from Guyana here. I'm from Guyana. And now more than ever, because we find oil, everybody's excited to get down to the Guyanese passport.
Listen, I'm so proud. I be telling them, I said, this is what we have. This. I could be going down dying as a Guyanese, because where else do you want me to represent? I'm not going to be that type of person that live in, I live in Barbados about 15 years, and I was like, oh, I'm a Bajan. It doesn't sound right. And that's why, you know, people's be vexed, oh, because Rihanna don't say anything about Guyana or what's not. She's a Bajan. She don't know anything about Guyana, even though her parents are Guyanese. And the minute that people understand how precious we are as Guyanese, because let me tell you straight, the fact of the success that Rihanna has comes from her mother's training too, you know. And that's Guyanese people. I know several Guyanese in Barbados that they don't really see themselves as Guyanese. They're there, they don't really represent nothing in particular, and they're doing very successful. But you would never know of them because they wouldn't sit here and say, oh, I'm from Guyana, blah, blah, blah. Because what is Guyanese?
And many of them may be repping and we don't know because they get the opportunity to come and talk about the good things.
They just don't want to rep because they understand what goes on. It's a little challenging, and but I need to. That's why I say it's a half and half when it comes to me, because they're diehard Guyanese fans that support me 100. I tell you, I love them so much. You understand? So
I was very happy when the other day the former mayor, Branch Narain, would have issued citation awards to several Guyanese and persons in creative industry and doing
yeah,
things. And I'd love to see more being done for Guyanese.
definitely.
And if we also reflect the famous singer Johnny Braff, John Quitchelo, who placed Guyana on the map for music and for and his creativity as really so love and created that atmosphere, he would have received an honor from the then president, and that was close before he died. And he was here all this while. He was living under the government care, and many people didn't pay attention. So I believe more can be done to recognize persons who are continuously pushing and who are climbing the charts, and a support environment. And of course, the topic that is always up for discussion, intellectual property. What are your thoughts on music and protecting your work and being accurately compensated from it? Because I'm sure if you release your work on YouTube right now, all you can go and take it and do it, and you can get nothing from it.
Intellectual properties, the fact that you asked me that question, because a lot of artists don't really know about this. So me, even before getting into music, I wasn't even aware of it. But we don't really have that structured in a 100% kind of way in Guyana. So that's why I think for an artist like me that looks outside, I would, have to do a lot of stuff like in America. You register yourself in America or in Barbados, CASCAP, and those kind of places, so that you could get, your your rewards. So I don't know when that's going to come into play. I feel like that's a whole process. I think that's just one of the things that keep us back as artists. The fact that we don't have any copyright laws and we don't have these things protecting us as an artist and our music and what's not.
Well, even
It's a
Facebook
base
acknowledges
no-no.
it because you dare say you're going to post people thing and you can get the permission.
Yes, definitely.
It's challenge.
This is a serious thing, because
Lawsuits, see you back.
it is a very serious thing when you have to get back your royalties and all these things. It's a lot of things involved, in the music business is a very, very difficult business. I know people that have been in it for years and still don't know what they're doing. So
I think, I'm not sure if there's a group or an association is there to represent persons within the creative industry as a whole, to represent their interests. They can come together, discuss
you
what
think they
challenges
should, or you
they
think
face.
they
I think
have?
they should.
Yeah, I
If
think they
there's not
should.
any.
They probably do have, but it's not strong. I think they need to have a full body that every artist should, like CASCAP or probably those places in Guyana, that can say, if you're going to be an artist, you need to register here, and we deal with all your intellectual properties, and
That's just
that would
going
make
forward
us-
advocating for
that would
different
make
things.
us more valuable to our people, because now we'll be able to get money from our
And
work.
not only that, persons must be willing to work together because,
That is a big thing.
right? Because people coming together not feeling, oh, I'm up there and I'm way for you.
I
and those people talk
experience
to me.
I experience it daily because oh man, like, this is a very touchy thing for me, because I don't know if you know me. I'm a heads-on person. Like, I talk with pretty much a lot of artists, and I don't get where we can't say hi to each other. I don't get where we don't want to work together. Like, to me, that's nowhere in my mind, because like, I could be mistaken, but in Barbados, I remember like we actually like each other as creatives. Like, no one can actually come and break that. Like, creatives stick together all the time. You might have some beef here and there. That's nothing you can change. But once you're in that space, in that room, in that moment, and I've been in rooms with pretty much almost all the artists in Guyana, and I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, something is really, but you just got to be careful what you say here.
But I, in my opinion, I believe that beyond music or when you're the stage, that's something different. But beyond that, you must be a person. You must have
You
a
must have to,
character
yeah.
that persons want to be able to connect with. Persons want to follow your music and to.
No,
I
other
think all
people.
of that would work to where if we tighten in those aspects, people
People take us
genuinely need
seriously
music
too as
industry will
well.
take us seriously.
I've been
Because
saying
what's
that.
true, one person criticizing and pulling down another musician or a singer, and then we're going to encourage, come, let's support one another because they're judging both you and that person.
But what it is a lot to do with how we were brought up. You remember now, we are not the type of people that had music in our criteria when we were in primary school. Some schools probably do, and some in secondary schools do. But it's not like if you decide that you're probably in QC, your parents gonna be like, oh, you need to pursue this. No, they're not. Even if you like it, they probably say, yeah, this good. You're enjoying your secondary school life. Yes, you can still come up with ones. But to say, okay, you know what? If you do this, you're gonna get some scholarships, or if you do this, you're gonna be the best musician, the best whatever. Like some people are not seeing that because
I never
they
heard
think.
of any scholarship to pursue music, really.
I think they probably do have. I know a few people that would have gone to Berkeley's and stuff,
Okay.
School of Music in Boston. But my point that I'm trying to say is that the push was never there from young. So when we are in we're in this way now where, okay, if I go through the door, just me alone, I gotta be the best one from Guyana. And they don't realize that even if we have, I don't know the population, if it's 900 something or 800 something thousand people, and 500 of us are musicians. You mean to tell me in America, where there's millions of people that are in this music thing succeeding, 500 of us can't succeed elsewhere? You know, so I mean, I'm just throwing numbers out there. They don't see it like that. They see it as, I'm the best from Guyana, I'm the this, I'm the hottest, I'm whatever. And, you know, it is what it is.
So why aren't we seeing people coming together and collaborate to do music and doing a big song and all of these things? Why isn't that really happening?
Well, I tried to collab. I did some collaborations with Isan Benzi. I did a collaboration with Chris Nelson and another guy from the States. Oh God.
Chris is from Over the River?
Yeah, it's Chris from Over the River.
Okay.
Yeah, we in the same camp and stuff. I did one with Nesta, and I did one with B-Nick. I'm open for all of these stuff because I know what it's like to just actually want to bring that difference. Like I don't want to just have all my music is just Kaiya. My music must be open to different artists. You have different selections. Just bring a blonde, you know, something to just spruce it up and just have that kind of unity. You know, I always wanted to collab with females to do something. America does it all the time. But the funny thing is, I realized something. In Guyana, people tend to take what they want to take and use that as influence. But the things that actually work in the outer world, they don't do it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Meaning that, okay, you see what the other artists do to succeed. Why not do that instead of taking things that really don't make sense and use that as fuel? You see collaboration works with everybody. You see certain things work with everybody, but you don't want to do those.
Different supporters.
You see most of them in the same room supporting each other. Even if they might have some beef on the tabloids, they might have something, whatever. People still like to see them come together and do something that's good controversy.
Good, and you've got to wrap up on behalf of besties and stuff.
You don't have
do
to.
Collaboration.
I've been trying to tell people this. Like for me, when I see a musician high, right, we hug, you give that love, and you push off. I don't have to come by you. I don't have to go nowhere with you. I just say hi to you. I have that respect for you because we know what we're battling with here. So that's just what it is. I don't know. And I'm hoping one day that, you know, we're able to change that and see where I'm coming from. And just love each other. Because in Guyana, the whole, we need to love each other. Period. So.
How is your music disseminated? Is it through distributor? Or?
Yes. Yes, I use, I have a label that I use that distributes my music in the US. When I first started doing music, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, how I was going to distribute my music. So DistroKid is always in, we would use DistroKid, and then you move on to different types of places.
But is it working effectively that you're able to get your right sets of compensation or royalties for your music? Because let me put it out there, some people feel Guyanese, they know nothing. They take your content and they get in the bulk of it, and then
At this moment, I'm still yet to see my royalties and stuff from my music because, like I said, it's just like I just started. So I'm watching the process to see how that really works. So I'll let you know in the next
let them know we
video.
looking. Let them know
Yes,
we
we definitely got to get those things, you
let them know
know?
we never lost.
That is good that you're very interested. I mean, I know you're not an artist and stuff, and that's what I'm saying. It's really good to have people that really are interested in seeing how we really do what we do and the things that we face, the challenges that we face. We really do need a body for the females. We need a body for the entire industry. I mean, creatives is one thing, but you see, singers, musicians should have their own thing because that's a big entity. People don't know how big this thing is. You push in a Guyanese artist. Like, I wouldn't say some of the future ventures that I have in place for myself, but putting them on a major stage in Jamaica, in France, in Afrochella coming up in December, in just certain major reggae shows around the Caribbean, Tobago Jazz Fest, St. Lucia Jazz Fest, St. Kitts and Nevis Festival. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
because
but come to think of it, I can't recall seeing flyers with Guyanese being featured at these big shows that are going on around the place.
and why is that so?
That's a good question. But I'm sure I see people coming from there and here and everywhere coming. But aren't our
It all
people
boils
going?
back. Yes, we are growing, and
Not going
Are people?
places and being on these big concerts alongside.
they should be, because I think we do have the talents. I think, we do have the talents to actually be on those stages. But what really happens is that our music they don't hear the music. If our music is not even played in our country, how are we going to be able to say, okay, let's put the music in Trinidad so we could go to Tobago Jazz Festival. Let's put the music in St. Lucia. Let's put the music. We have to get the music played here all over the radio, people bursting with just, oh my God, there's a Guyanese artist. And then mainstream, the ministry or whoever of culture, because these people have the connections. And then we have just certain radio stations that have all the connections that you could possibly think about, but they just chose not to do it. And it's really, really sad.
Yeah, I believe more can be done. Agencies to agency collaboration to promote Guyanese and to let them be on the international and regional platform.
We can be on the international platform. There's a lot of people that have been around for a while, and with a little more training and a little more help from these big entities, it could be possible.
No,
We
but
need to get the music played. We need people to know. Like, my music play in Guyana, and sometimes people don't even know it's a Guyanese. I can walk
no, but
past
one
you,
of my
you even
main
know.
things has always been, why is it that a Guyanese have to go through all the hard struggles and so to
In
keep it
everything.
going until when you get successful?
Then they want to jump
Then
on that
people want to come
back.
and claim you, she's a Guyanese or he's a Guyanese and so.
Yeah, because
Why not help me on my journey? Make me walk a little lighter. Oh.
they look at that's where the outside influence. Oh, America liking she? Then she gotta be a big thing. This body. That's why for me personally, I like to push where my music is going to let people know that these other people really appreciate it. And not to be so hard. They just know I'm an artist. Like certain places, like I can tell you, like Jamaica, they know you're an artist. Obviously, it gotta be good. It's not gonna be easy. But then they know you're an artist. Artist. Like, yeah. Guyana artist, like, oh, you're an artist? Okay. And listen, this is the hardest thing I would say I've ever had to do in my life. Coming from Guyana. Like, I feel like I was born anywhere else in the world. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier because I would have probably started at a younger age, and then I would have tried. I would give it a fair chance somewhere else. But here, you just have to learn really quick here, and you have to be very strong. You have to be very strong. Yeah, because they're gonna try to come for you.
Well, Margaret is joining she's joining from Barbados and she's saying Guyanese will get there. We just
Yes,
have to
I think
learn
we
how to
will.
get our acts together because it took Barbados a while to get
Yes.
stuff streamlined.
I think we're getting there. It's like I told you, there's a lot of talented people that I'm surrounded with, writers, musicians, gospel singers, reggae singers. Like, these people are super talented. So it's just like I said, just to get that little push, that little support. I get people reach out from Barbados, Guyanese, that are so proud of me. And I know they probably are proud of the others too. So just keep supporting. Once we support, if Guyana could just come together as one and support the artists that they have right now and make them something, you won't even know what that does to the youths. Because now when you're growing up, you feel, oh, I could be like B-Nick, oh, I could be like Kaiya, or I could be like Tamika Marshall. And that's a good thing. Because now you're able to sustain your life just by doing your talent.
Yes, and if they could do it, why you can't do it too?
Exactly. People just need to see that other people do it. Then that's why they want to hold on to you when they see you make it. It's like, okay, all right, let me support them now.
Develop your craft and make it better.
Yeah.
Always tell yourself that you have to improve. You have to be twice as better.
Practice
as
every single day.
So,
it's just like to me, I see music as track and field.
Mm-hmm.
Or basketball. And I used to play basketball for Guyana years ago. Why I really related to those things is that these people train year round just for 1 or 2 races.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they don't make it, they train next year to come again back even stronger. Basketball, I remember playing basketball. We used to lose every time, but that never stopped me. Every time we lose, I go home, sleep, wake up, back to practice.
Consistency, determination.
That is what I do. I put that into my singing. We go on the stage. Sometimes you might sing off key, you do this, whatever. You might feel a type of way. Now well, you got to work on this and just come back even stronger. And that's what I had to deal with for the past 2 years, because I was like, okay, all right, yes, I know I can sing. But now I have to perform.
Yeah,
now I don't have to write.
Different thing.
It's a total different thing, because you can sing, but talker, like, what am I gonna tell these people?
Still gotta be on key.
Still gotta be on key, and then you still these things. So I'm telling you, it's a whole host of stuff. So when you decide to record a song, think about it, because you can go on the radio and you can just be all over the place, and now you're ready to build as an entity, and it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So every day you got to work on it. Every day my routine is usually I have to make sure that I sing all my songs, and I have to sing them very well, better than I did yesterday. And then I have to make sure I write music, and it has to be better than the songs that I did. And then I have to make sure that everything that I'm doing when it comes to presenting myself, just moving around, I carry myself as an artist. And those things, it takes a lot of practice. Mm-hmm. Because people take whatever you say and they run with it. So you got to be careful how you present yourself as an artist.
Of all of the songs you have, which one is your favorite?
I love Love Potion. For some reason. It's my second song that I actually wrote. And I don't know, like, something about it. It just gives me a kind of... Actually, I think I love all my songs because I like So Nice.
No, but we want here, but it's Love Potion.
Okay. So when I started writing Love Potion, this thing just come, Love Potion, devotion. And I'm like, okay. I don't know, like it's just an amazing feeling that I would have had at the time, and I just really wanted to sing that about a particular person.
You see, I in my mind, right? I already connected you to like Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift, every relationship she was singing about it, she was singing a song about it.
Yeah.
I know you're singing Love Potion. I wonder who's this somebody that have an entire song. Well,
I think all my love music, because I do love reggae music, lovers rock, is actually for somebody, and 2 of them might be for the same person, but
love sweet.
But
young people have mine.
No, I mean that's what music is about. Like once you can actually bring the real thing. Like I don't want to have, when people ask me who I'm singing about, oh, it's just a song. It was not just a song. It was like, that's how I felt at the time. It might not be a present thing, but this is something I felt at the time where I just wanted to sing to this guy and tell him, you know, you are my superstar. You know who you are. And I got the loving that you need.
Yeah, this one I
You
like.
know, and he knows this. He knows that the loving that I bring will bring him down to his knees. Guy, you begging me, please, because this is actual things that happen. Don't you leave, you know? So I love Love Potion. I love to love. I love to bring that lovers rock kind of energy. You know, Beres Hammonds was always my inspiration, him and Bob Marley. So obviously Beres was all about singing to the women and just being the love doctor. So I knew I just couldn't run from this love thing. I was stuck in that thing. I had to beg myself to get out of this so I can just sing anything else.
This love, sweet and special. What I love about long time music, the writers and the singers were so skillful in terms of they would describe love in such a fancy thing, and you have to listen, you have to interpret the meaning. And it's like, wow, such creativity. And even when I look back to songs like Celine Dion and how they would
those ballads were amazing.
It's like, wow.
They had, the thing is, they actually had people specifically to write for them, you know. And that's something that in the future, I think we need to start developing. A lot of people just like to say, oh, I write my own music. Come on. Whitney Houston didn't even write her own music. Rihanna did not write her own music, just to let you know. It's okay to have a writer.
Yes,
and I had to tell myself it's okay to have a writer. I could try with my couple songs that I have that I would have written, and it's fine. And if I really want to, you have to know the difference between a singer and a writer. Gotta know it. The chances are slim that you are an amazing writer and an exceptional singer at the same time. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta know which one. I can tell you, I know I'm a singer, more of a singer than a writer. So I'm still learning.
I love these artistic pieces that people bring. For instance, the song Yesterday by Toni Braxton, when she said, the truth about where you've been is a fragrance I can't recognize.
Yes, Tony's one of my big fans.
It's like, wow. Like,
inspiration as well.
These people just sit and come up with these things and... Oh my gosh! So creativity and bring it to music, and you're playing with words, and people got to use their imagination.
Yeah, but you see,
but today, you don't got to wonder what people mean. They're putting it in these songs, they put it raw, they do it. Oh my gosh!
Toni Braxton and everybody that would have been signed on their label, they would have had people there to make sure that they had the right song for them, the right everything to put them into the positions. That's something we're lacking.
Or is it that this society is a bit too brawlish and too...
This society, I think...
because if you link it to relationships
this society
and stuff...
has really begin to just want to be who they want to be. And they really don't really care about who's looking. I remember years ago, our parents were a little bit more reserved, and they would say, oh, your children are wrong, your children this. We don't do that anymore. Like, it's exposed to a lot of things, and it's crazy.
Very much. Very much crazy. And I know from the music and the culture, the upbringing back then, even a gentleman going to school, sometimes he'd write a letter and he would write you love letters. She would write you love letters.
No, if you do that now, them boys would look at you like, what are you talking about?
even on the road, hey girl, one day, bad girl, you what the bad?
Listen,
and that kind of thing.
If you with a guy and you tell him, oh, you're not ready to do stuff, he can look at you like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, all these women is normal now. You coming wrong with these old time thing, like, you know. I should still be able to say if I don't want to talk to you or not.
It's just so much going on.
Listen, I don't know how you feel as a male, but as a woman, it's really challenging. Yes, like I feel sometimes it's a warfare. It's like a war. I want this woman. I could get though. I could do this. You know?
But how do you feel as it relates to the music that the guys are singing and they're being raw and vulgar to women and do this to she? And even so, some of these, you'd be in the buses and you would hear the DJs in the music and this and that, and the woman who buys her friend clothes and it's going on, and that is creating a culture that we can't very soon turn back. That was
something I've known since I was a kid, though. Very young. That's something that has been influenced on our part. Guyanese people like to they don't forget anything. Like you can do stuff since you was like in primary school and just remember the thing you do. Cause
Yes.
I got a friend. And it's like I don't want to be reminded of the time that I was a kid and did not know what I was doing. I don't want to be reminded when I was a teenager and still didn't know myself, the mistakes that I would have made. I don't want to be reminded as a young adult when I did things that I shouldn't have. But these people this entertaining for them. It's entertainment. So I wish that one day, because that's a lot of reasons why people don't follow their dreams, because they are afraid of what people are going to say about them. Yeah.
People know always stop.
Yeah, but that don't stop a lot of people. Some people say, "Oh my God, I'm not going to do this," because people come up to me, my family especially, is like, "You are so brave." I said, "This is the
No, but imagine
normal."
that too. If, let's say you bust on a show, and you still got to face society tomorrow, and then everybody gonna be talking about this boss. We don't do two in your towel right there and
No,
there.
that's what I'm saying to you. That's why I don't look at it like that anymore. I say, okay, I didn't do good on this show. I've never actually seen anybody started off singing and then they bust and people just say, okay, let me just cancel this first. You got to be really horrible to actually get on that stage. You had to be bringing something. So it's like they just look forward for a better performance next time. Because I remember singing last year for Miss Guyana, for the first time I sang for Miss Guyana, and then in the comments people had their own thing to say. But then when I sing this year now, I sung way better than I did last year.
You have to be bringing something.
Yeah, understand? So for me personally, people don't think that you need to improve as an artist for some reason. I don't get it. You have to improve, and your playing ground is the stage. So don't think that we're gonna go on there and just it's easy and just sing. Like a lot of people can't do this. Most of the people that you see commenting on those lives and those things, they cannot sing and they cannot do that. They don't have the courage to go there and say nothing. You know what I mean? So give it a chance. Give somebody a chance to grow, to develop, and to get to that point that they need to get, to.
Beautifully said. And Chris Chris is asking in our YouTube if you have your music on YouTube that he can follow. He's
Yes,
from
it's
New York.
Kaiya's Music. Kaiya's Music on YouTube. KAIYA_S on YouTube.
So just quickly let people know that you offer your singing and you provide music and that they can support you by having you come and sing at their events and so on. And the contact information that they can reach you on.
Okay, well, you can get me on Kaiya's Music on Facebook, KAIYA_S on Facebook. Go down, follow, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kaiya's Music, KAIYA_S Music. Subscribe to it. Go follow my thing. Leave your comments. I have some music videos up there. You can go in and make comments as well. You can also see me on Kaiya's Music Official 2022 on IG. And I'm also on TikTok, Kaiya's Music on TikTok. So on any of those platforms, you can get me. On the platforms, I'll be showing where I'll be performing. Guy Expo is coming up, so I'm expected to be there. We're also doing a music video in Guyana for Mama Guyana and several projects that we're doing here. And that's it. In next month, I'm expected to be back in Africa, preparing for one of the biggest shows in Africa. All fingers crossed. If we get the right support and what's not to go and do what I have to do.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions and I do want you to answer within 1 minute.
In 1 minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 minute.
All right.
So what else would you want people to know about Kaiya? That's 1. And 2, why should people support Kaiya's music?
One thing I want you to know about Kaiya is that I am very budding. Just look out for me. I plan to do exceptional stuff. I plan to go beyond my boundaries to be able to put Guyana music industry on a different platform, where we can actually grow. So look out for that, go follow my stuff. Why you should follow me is because I think that I I think I am very informative. Like I am the type of person that I sing a lot of positive stuff. Just trying to showcase like my song, Feel the Vibe. It's a song that we did based on suicide. You know, like I try to encourage the youths. Like I'm always uplifting people. Even my love music, in the love music that I do, I try to show people how a man's supposed to treat a woman and how a woman's supposed to be treated. And if you watch my video on YouTube, Real Love, you'll see I was trying to, put in there what I think we need to accept as women. And so I think that I can teach the youths a few things or two. I inspire people, so.
Beautifully said. You
Thank
know
you.
you can't leave without giving us a verse and the chorus of another song. But while you think of that song, I just want to thank our viewers and our loyal supporters for tuning in, as well as thank you for being
Thank
on
you
our
for having
program.
me. Thank
It's
you
a
for
pleasure.
inviting me.
I want to shout out to Beverly Mitchell, Chris Camper, Christopher Antonio, James, Kunal Bridget, Alwan Ramjas, Cherry Thomas, Sandy Taylor, and several others, including Margaret joining from Barbados. It is a pleasure to have you guys here. I am your host, Marlon Joseph, and it's a pleasure being here. Let's just have Kaiya do our closing song, and we'll take it from
I just
there.
want to say too, tomorrow's my birthday, guys.
Yes,
So-
I forgot that. Hold on. Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You know, right?
I'm gonna sing this song. My first song. So nice. You make me feel so nice, so nice, so nice. You make it feel so right, right, so right. Ooh, you got a smile so bright, so bright,
Alright.
so bright.
Go back to this.
Hey, you make me feel so nice, nice, nice.
Get them notes, girl.
You get nothing yet, but that's a piece of my song. So nice. It's the very first song that I've written, and it's dear to me.
I'm gonna check at your music and we're gonna follow you.
Definitely, I'm hoping that your live checks my music out, and I know you guys will be seeing a lot more of me.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
So nice.